Hey, what's up everybody? It's Lids, and we're back for some more Hades 2, and last time we tried out a new weapon, or at least a new aspect of a weapon, the aspect of Mythology on the staff, and focused on charge-up skills, and did a lot to structure a run around that. Not my preferred playstyle, but we did make it to Prometheus, maybe not quite as far as we did on our previous attempt, but still a decent run. As for what we have planned for this go-round, well, we do have the bonus bones coming from the blades, so I think we'll probably go that route, and then as for what, if any, aspect we'd be looking for, we have that aspect of Mythology. I think we've been using that on basically all the weapons thus far. This one gives our attacks and specials more damage when we're striking foes from behind, which is not typically something we're making an effort to do, but 40% damage bonus. Now that probably would be reason enough to prioritize it. It does require getting some fabric, which we do not currently have. That is purchasable from the shop, so wouldn't rule that out. Otherwise, we could certainly do Aspect of Artemis. We can afford this. While you channel your charged attack, you occasionally parry, then riposte right after. If we parry, we prevent damage from most types of direct attacks. I assume, big boss attacks might be the exception? Can be repeated after 15 seconds, so we can't just spam that forever. When we riposte, we are impervious for an additional second, though. Our next 9 strikes have plus 50% crit chance. Okay, I will admit I was not that excited about this until I read the fine print, and this is starting to look a little more tempting. Then Aspect of Pan, we could afford at least one of these. Your specials seek foes in your casts. Fire more shots if you channel longer. I mean, I'll be honest, after having just done a run that was very much focused all on the channeling abilities, I was kind of looking for something not channeling related this time, but this, as I said, sounds cool to me, so I might go for it nonetheless. And we can afford at least 2 of these upgrades. Well, depending on if that silver cost per level goes up, it might. So, yeah, I mean, sure, it might end up feeling a little bit similar to the run we did last time, but it's a totally different weapon. We have much less range on the blades, but theoretically, I think our damage might be higher.
Grant me the aspect of Artemis.
She knows her blades.
Apparently she does. Okay, can we upgrade it again, though? Oh, it costs something entirely different. I don't even remember how we get that. So, no, we absolutely cannot upgrade it further, but we can try this version at least.
Intricate work.
Okay, now we see, since we have two different aspects unlocked, well, technically, we have the base version is the level 1 version of Aspect of Mythology, which doesn't have any abilities until we upgrade it one more time, so no reason to take that Aspect of Artemis here. And we also get this additional information about the number of enemies we've defeated with foes vanquished. Just 82 feels like that is way less than I would expect if that's from every previous run with this. We apparently have not won with this weapon yet, which I did not realize. Because, I definitely like it, but it is inherently more of a high-risk playstyle. Okay, so here is our charged attack. We have that sphere around us. Interesting. Oh, and it naturally does a backstab motion. Well, that's... Okay, well, this is not the aspect that has the backstab bonus damage.
The aspects of the nocturnal arms.
But hold on. Is that always the case for the charged attack? Oh. Okay. So you do kind of have an automated way to backstab. You don't need to manually run around to the other side of the enemy to try to hit them. Because that, might mean running right into the enemy and taking damage in the process. So I suppose that means they're both, in some ways, related to the charged attacks. Yeah, and we would have to go buy fabric for this. Okay, we'll try the Aspect of Artemis. Both of them intrigue me, but when it comes to our keepsake, so we're expecting to have riposte and some crit damage. I mean, maybe we could build around that, but in general, when it comes to the blades, I do like having Aphrodite for the damage because she has the highest damage from her attack boon. So that intrigues me. And then I do like Demeter for the freeze. Feels like it's been a while since we've had either of these two, but the freeze definitely helps us more safely get into that attacking range, since it does require that we get quite close with the blades. So it means if we go with one or both of these, we won't be able to take some of the more defensive stuff, like the Silken Sash, or might need to compromise on Gold Purse. But if we get one of these from the keepsake and one of them just showing up randomly, that would probably be ideal. Maybe we prioritize Demeter just because the keepsake is one rank higher than the Aphrodite one is. Apparently we haven't used the Aphrodite one at all. So let's try that. The other thing is that I think, although we did recently upgrade the pickaxe, let's go with the shovel this time.
Prioritize.
Because we, I think, have most of the upgrades, they require getting stuff with the shovel. So that's going to make the most difference for us right now, I think. We'll go up, because we have yet to defeat Prometheus. As I said, I do really like the blades, but given how we've not won with them going down,
Whenever.
and now we're trying to go up with them, and we've not had any successful runs going up either, I don't know how we're going to fare. But here is Demeter, so that's good.
Sprang forth from underneath that gloom onto our world's surface, have you, Flower? If you mean to visit our mountain, merely follow the path of desolation leading straight to us.
Yeah. Okay, so we do have the option to rarefy. Ooh. Well, okay, hold on. I don't think the attack is what we want here. We want something that freezes outside of the attack so that we can save the attack for Aphrodite. So I think in that case we're probably looking at the cast? Yeah, and we can rarefy. So I think we do that. Oh. Wait. I thought... Okay. I thought it was going to rarefy one level up from that. I thought because it was, not level 1, but the level 2 for the keepsake that we were allowed to turn the rares into epic rarity. Maybe I misclicked. Oh. You know, I was just thinking before we started this run, I cannot recall if we've ever gone into a chaos room when we've been going up. Maybe once, but I don't even remember it at all. So I am really tempted to do this. On the other hand, it's really hard to turn down the hammer room, and I'm pretty sure we would miss it, right? If we go down there. I'll be honest, I think we have to take the hammer. Hammer early on can help us get a better understanding of how we want to build this run. And as I said, would like to get Aphrodite for the attack boon. That is, in theory, what I have in mind for this. But a really nice hammer boon could convince me otherwise.
Straightforward.
Get this before I forget. Okay, and I don't even remember, are those like potatoes? I don't think it's the mandrake, which is the thing that we really want, but perhaps on a later floor. Okay, what is this? Because we did sacrifice a bit to get you. Your attacks deal plus 150 damage. Striking foes from behind. Oh my goodness, this would have been so incredible if we had taken the other aspect. Oh man, now that's making me regret that. Oh, so much. But we would have had, what, 190% bonus damage striking foes from behind? Oh. Might still take it, to be honest. Especially since we can use our cast to freeze, which means we might be able to more easily sneak up behind people. Your charge special fires each shot straight ahead, and your specials have increased range. Specials deal plus 20% damage, and your charge special fires up to 16 shots around you. We just not had many things hammer-wise with the blades before? I don't know. I mean, I want to build around the attack. I want to have the cast and or special to set up the attack, but the attack be the primary source of damage. So this tempts me from that standpoint, but feels like we kind of missed the best way to build around the attacking foes from behind. Let's take it, though. maybe the freeze is enough to set that up. Oh, okay. Love the Aphrodite. As I said, really wanted to see her. Let's check. What are these?
Let's have a look around.
We have 2 Aphrodites, including a mini-boss. Have we seen any mini-bosses on this floor? I'm not sure if we have. And the mini-boss, what? Technically, I think, increases the probability of a higher rarity boon. So, if we were to go mini-boss Aphrodite first, try to get the attack boon there, we have a decent chance of getting the higher rarity one. And then we go for the normal Aphrodite room after that. The reason why I hesitated for a second there is because we want to be really greedy. You could say, if we go base Aphrodite and then mini-boss Aphrodite after that, I think the requirements for duo boons are that you have 1 basic boon from one god or goddess, and then 2 from another god or goddess. I think both of those gods or goddesses need to have one of either the attack, special, or cast, or maybe dash. That might work as well. Obviously, we have the cast boon already from Demeter, so I don't think that's such a low probability of that happening that I don't think we should strategize based on that.
The barely held together city is a labyrinth of streets. Some barricaded still, yet others not. Each horror-filled, night after endless night.
Okay.
So many mortals lived and died
I
in such a
think we
place.
do this. It does mean that we're going to have not very much going for us
Gold coins.
against this mini-boss, because we are still relatively weak. And as I said, I don't think we've fought any mini-bosses on this floor yet, so who knows what we're getting ourselves into here.
A champion of Kronos. Pylon sighted.
Okay, you remind me, at least visually, of some of the guys from
Got you.
the bottom floors. Both going down and going up. The shield guys, basically. We do have the backstab, right? Oh, I did get a little bit lazy there. I ran straight into that guy. Please stop that. Please allow me to backstab you, so we can get large bonus damage. I don't appreciate it when you do that. I greatly appreciate it when you get stun lock. Oh. There we go. Okay, once the armor is down, you see just how much damage we have. We took a fair chunk of damage there.
Look at you beneath the shining moonlight. Welcome, gorgeous, to the lovely surface of our world. Please stay as long as you like. Or as long as you can. Of late, it's been a little rough.
Is this our first time seeing Aphrodite on a surface run? It might be. No! Okay, we can re-roll, and I think we will. Because, as I was saying, this is our chance to get higher rarity stuff, or at least higher probability of getting good rarity stuff. And we are very much looking for the attack boon.
Sure, why not?
Nope, that's not the one that I meant. Attack gains power, but we prime some magic. I might still go for this. Whenever you use 40 magic, create a heartthrob that deals 100 damage in an area. Inflicting weak, which makes foes deal less damage. That is kind of nice. Defensive dashes in general, but I think we go for this.
Yes.
It's, make no mistake, not what I was looking for. Oh. Wait, what? Oh, I was like, we did take the reward. What are you talking about? That
Ghastly thing.
might have facilitated that boss fight, that mini-boss fight.
Go,
So,
free nose.
perhaps could have taken a little bit less damage.
Done.
Okay. Oh, what? Okay, we have seen random enemies pop up occasionally in the city. I'm not sure if we've ever seen them pop up right next to the room we are leaving.
Weakening.
I'll be honest, I'm a little tempted to take the double hearts, just because we did take a sizable chunk of damage in that previous room. There's more of them. Okay, there is another Demeter boon as well. I'm just trying to think of what else we might want to do, because I was so focused on the Aphrodite stuff. I mean, I guess we take the other Aphrodite room immediately, and there is a shop. Oh, excuse me? Oh, it's Heracles.
Things are about to turn ugly, and I require neither assistance nor witnesses, sister.
Also, the fact that you spawned in where there's fire on the ground, so you permanently have that little invulnerability proccing, and I'm pretty sure that fire is not going to expire because we're basically in a conversation right now. So he's just going to do that. He's just going to do that for this entire conversation. He's basically a drummer. Also, very dark and foreboding music, if you can get past the... Oh, okay, no, there you go. If you can get past the drumming performance. So we've seen Heracles once before in just the town itself, not in an actual room. Seemed like he was probably going to turn into some kind of rival. Maybe along the lines of what Nemesis is to us when we're going down, except Heracles we run into only when we're going up, it seems. But we don't really know for sure.
I'm passing through, and I'm not leaving here until the traitors to the House of Hades lie broken at our feet.
Heracles is a son of Zeus, right?
Fine then. We'll each earn our share. Though the lion's share is coming with me.
Alright, pun intended. I imagine we're about to compete for the most kills in this room.
Stay out of my path.
Yep, we sure are. Does the explosive kill, do those explosive kills count for us? No, don't steal our kills, dude. Don't do it, Kilbro Baggins. What? I missed. Okay. Okay. See, the other problem is that these guys have lots of armor, which means they have, they take a lot longer to kill. And for someone who basically just hits something once and kills everything, which I'm pretty sure is the case for Heracles, it's a little unfortunate. Also, I'm basically ignoring all instances of us potentially taking damage.
All dead. You earned your share.
Okay, that just dictated how much gold we got at the end of that encounter. I'll be honest, that does not feel all that meaningful, unless we get something else from having beaten you.
You live. By my good graces, granted, but first I've seen somebody stand against the filth that's overtaken this accursed town.
I aim to cleanse the filth down to the source. He resides deep in the underworld, though I've business to attend to on Olympus first.
And of course, we've been much further than this city, so I imagine, although at the moment this is the only floor in which we've seen Heracles, that is likely to change in the future.
What a coincidence. I just returned from there not long ago. So the gods are putting all the pieces into place. You watch yourself, sister. I go.
Okay. So, some somewhat friendly competition with Heracles. Got a little bit of extra gold in the process, although as I said, I feel like that's maybe not the most meaningful of things.
In the name of Hades.
This may be the most meaningful. Yeah, we get higher rarity stuff here, of course, but it's not the attack boon we're looking for. You're weak. You inflict weak on nearby foes and gradually restore magic when any nearby foe is weak. But we automatically inflict weak on nearby foes? So that seems pretty convenient. I mean, it's similar to the dash effect, except it seems more consistent than that. This does deal damage. This gives us magic restoration, which at the moment we don't have any reason to be spending magic. This is huge damage, make no mistake. But our special has at least a little bit of range, so I'm not sure if we're going to consistently get that damage bonus, whereas the attack is the thing that I was thinking we would build around. Hold on. Attacks and specials. Wait. What? We didn't activate the aspect that we wanted. We accidentally switched to the aspect of Malinui. Okay, well, so much for that then. In that case, if we did upgrade this, it would have been fantastic to combine it with this guy. But, okay, this is only attacks, not special. So yeah, I mean, that's such a huge number that really want to be focusing on the attacks, not the special. So although the high rarity and the big number is tempting here. I think we go this route.
Should head back out.
I mean, it's not like taking the special boon there is preventing us from getting the attack boon in the future, but still. Oh my god. I'm also just playing absolutely atrociously at the moment. Okay, it's a palm, which I guess we'd use on the Arctic Ring? This gives us more magic restoration. I mean, that aspect is just not that important to us. Okay. Doesn't seem like there's anything else in here. Can't do anything with the somewhat shiny fish. Apparently not. Alright, any enemies directly outside our door? We have 19 health right now. I don't actually know. Can we use this at any point in time? We could. We could use it now, which honestly I'm half tempted to do, just because we've taken so much bad damage. But there is the double heart room somewhere over here, right? Yeah. Maybe we can get away saving the healing if we do this. There's such a thing as backstabbing an inanimate object.
Death to Kronos.
Okay, we're just gonna break that. Oh, I wanted to break that. There we go.
For free.
Mostly to deal with you, because you're annoying. But naturally there's gonna be more of you, of course. Please stop that. Is it possible to backstab them when they have armor, or are we only allowed to do it when they are armorless? Ooh, I admittedly was not paying enough attention to you. No, we can still backstab you when you have armor. Okay, the damage is huge already when we backstab, so we really should make a point of doing that whenever we can. And yes, that bonus health definitely does help. There's no other room over here. Okay. Yeah, so I mean, the aspect, of course, unfortunately, is something we cannot change. So that stinks. There's no turning back in that regard. I don't know why she said felt like the air changed. Okay, so with 3 more rooms, I'm thinking it's gonna be this Demeter right in front of us. Hermes, maybe Selene, although we just primed some magic, which is kind of counterproductive with Selene, although we also have the magic restoration from that Aphrodite boon, which, you know, is, as I said, it wasn't that great of a choice for us. Oh, is that a mineable thing that we are not going to be able to get anymore now that we don't have the pickaxe with us? Probably. Was this breakable? No, it's just a golden urn. Okay. There you see. So in theory, the combination of freezing, and then I would have thought that angle was good enough to qualify as backstabbing. Apparently not. Nope. Oh, also no. I think some of it is also just the fact that we are using the blades is... That alone is reason enough for us to end up taking more damage just because we're closer to the enemies.
Olympus, I accept this message.
So it's much easier for them to hit us. Okay, I don't want the Demeter attacks. I'm trying to keep the attack unspent. Cast also create a gust at the binding circle, slowing enemies down even more than they already are slowed. Range shots fire slower. I mean, at first I saw this, the higher rarity, it's a special boon, as I said. Of course, we passed on a decent special boon previously. This gives us more ways to freeze, but this makes our existing freeze from our cast even more effective. I think that might be more useful. Because that's still the setup It makes the setup more effective, and the damage is still coming from the attack. The special, I think, it's a complement to that, yes, but it's not the primary source of damage, at least I don't think it will be. With all these special related things that we're passing up on, it probably could have been. Okay, so I'm thinking it's Hermes. And it's the last one that's going to be the tough one to figure out. There are a whole lot of you. I'd like to destroy this.
No, you don't.
Oh, I really expected there to be another wave, even if that first wave was really crowded.
You found your father down there, Em? Never could get close enough myself. Hope he's still alright. Hope everyone's alright. We'll get them back. Keep doing everything we can.
And this feels like another one that he's kind of catching up on, because it's a little strange that happened a while ago for the first time, and we aren't seeing him when we go up. We're only seeing him when we go down. We've been going up for a while now. Also, I'm only just realizing for the first time that he has a turtle in his sack, and I don't know what the story is with that turtle. Is there some story behind that? Is this just a random turtle that he's keeping in that bag, or is there actually some history there? Okay, charge moves are faster. We're not really trying to do that. Most foes' range shots are slower. Would be kind of nice, especially now that we have another way in which we are slowing down the ranged attacks. Each time you slay a foe, deal more damage for the next 30 seconds. Bonus damage per slain foe, 2% absolutely. Yes. Oh. Speed is now key. Okay, and this is a tough one. I'm leaning Zeus because Hephaestus, although high damage, is slow, which we no longer really want to be doing. Zeus feels a little bit faster, and then, as I said, the Selene, I'm a little bit doubtful. A little bit doubtful about that, given how we've primed a little bit of our magic. There's a lot of people there. Does this count as killing enemies if we are not the ones who actually get the kill? Or terrain kills? Do those... Oh. Well, that works.
Sigil.
And so does that. Oh, does that heal us? Since when? It's been so long since we actually used the shovel. I did not remember that being a thing.
You've seen it now firsthand. Our great mountain is perpetually besieged, and we've not had a moment's peace of late. Yet this trial only makes us stronger as a family.
Hopefully. It is certainly testing. Okay, specials inflict blitz. Sprint causes surrounding foes to be struck by lightning bolts. Does use magic. Hold cast to aim where the binding circle appears. Foes within are struck by lightning. I think we want this. Because right now, our cast is limited to where we are standing. Which, for a close range weapon, is not a terrible thing. But it does kind of require that we are already next to the enemies when we engage. Whereas this allows us to be a little more proactive.
Right.
Use the cast at range. Then we can close the distance while they're frozen. And move in for the attack.
I can get out.
To get the big damage going. Okay, and now we can heal more than enough here. So, I'm comforted a little bit by being able to negate the silly damage that we had taken. Though, I imagine that's not going to be the last of it, given how it is a riskier playstyle using this weapon. Okay, Aphrodite, I do like that a lot.
The shrines of Lord Hermes that I've seen around the surface. I noticed they take offerings of gold as well. I take it the two of you are back in business then.
Certainly seems like it. Oh, I just realized he has the gold that he's holding magically, disassembling. I'm not entirely sure what he's doing with it, but in that purple, like cloud of smoke in his hand, those are definitely coins.
Then may business be good.
Okay, so we don't need this. We can afford both of these. Okay, so I think we take this, we hope it's the attack boon, and then we try to upgrade it here.
Olympus, I accept this message.
Dashing, no! Any max life rewards you find have greater effect. Earlier you get that, the better it would be. It's early enough that could definitely still be useful. Your weak effects are more potent. Give an additional 10% damage reduction. And we are applying weak to any enemy that is close to us. I mean, that does work really well with the blade, since we're basically accepting that we're going to take some damage. So I'm a little tempted to go that route. Dashing damages foes around and inflicts weak. And again, once you stop, I mean, this is mostly just dealing a little bit of area damage. We should already be inflicting weak on foes that are nearby. So I think it's mostly down to these two. I think we go Life Affirmation, and maybe we get a higher rarity version of this later on. I mean, it could have been helpful in the short term against the incoming boss fight. As for what we want to improve here, not this. The gust damage gets higher. The cast damage gets higher. What is the duration on the cast? Because that's what? 2 times 4, that's 8 damage per second. It's 3 times 2, that's 6 damage per second. This would actually appear to be better upgrade, which does make sense because this is already a higher level, so that might be getting some diminishing returns. Okay, again, that cast is not really our primary source of damage. It's mostly setup. Mostly against basic enemies, not bosses, so we'll see how this goes.
You could have had my friendship, a couple of my sheep, but instead, you spit my eye.
We could be friends.
I have done no such thing. I merely need access to the docks. Yet you insist on getting in my way.
Put yourself in my sandals. What would you do?
Is he wearing sandals?
I don't like the way you're treating me. I am gonna eat you.
I mean, he doesn't really seem up to the whole negotiation and diplomacy thing. He's not even giving it a chance. Is that the grab that we've seen him use on some prior occasions? Perhaps? Oh, that, okay, doesn't have as much range as I would like it to have. Might have a little more range, but still not quite as much as I would like. Oh. Still don't really know what the deal is with that move. Nor do I know what the deal is here. With those sheep? Have we ever seen those sheep before? Oh, I completely ignored that.
Time to walk this off.
I just assumed we needed to dodge at that point. Which may or may not have been the case.
Really, huh? Can't hide forever.
Not sure. Oh, he's doing the eating thing, where he sort of heals himself. I mean, our backstab damage is, even against the boss, proving to be pretty legit. Okay, don't like that, though.
Wake up, sleepyheads.
Now he's quoting Passion Pit. Ooh, I don't like that. Please go away now. It's not ready for boss attack. Oh, and we've seen, yeah, he can damage with the jump itself. That's also not what I wanted. And that's also obviously not what I wanted. Now I'm getting greedy, and that was not the direction I wanted to aim in. Okay, hold on. Stay composed here. Don't get sloppy, just because we're getting close. There we go. Okay. Toward the end there, took a bit of damage that I didn't like us taking, but overall still not too bad. And even though we've yet to get an attack boon,
Mine.
our attack damage just from the hammer upgrade alone is quite good. If we just had the aspect. I mean, comparatively, the aspect is a smaller number than the hammer boon was, so I suppose it's not that big of a deal, but still, we could have had it. We could have had it. Okay, so at this point, we have already gotten the Demeter or the Demeter boons that we were looking for. We have Aphrodite precedent, which means she should continue to show up. However, we could use this to upgrade Aphrodite boons, despite how seemingly this should have worked on the boon that we tried to upgrade earlier, and yet it didn't. So we don't need this, per se. Which means we could instead take something like the gold purse, to just get an extra infusion of gold, or something else, especially if there's kind of a just throw it on for one floor and get a decent benefit out of it type of thing. Well, to be fair, that might be the Aphrodite mirror in that case. Let's go for the gold purse. I think we're going to be okay on the Aphrodite side. Just trying to be patient, keep that attack slot open. And eventually Aphrodite will show up, right?
Check.
Until then, our damage is carried by the hammer, and our setup is carried by
Beyond this
Demeter.
rift, the mountain of the gods.
Okay, are we going to be able to befriend the cat this time, perhaps? So we keep on seeing you here.
Huh.
But yet, we don't seem...
Must want something to eat.
Oh, we don't seem to be making progress. Okay, that's the hint I needed, though. Because we do have the fishing rod, though I don't think we've ever used it. So perhaps if we had some fish, we could feed the cat, and that is then the way that we can actually keep it as a familiar. And I wasn't really sure what role fish were going to play in Hades 2, because in Hades 1, you basically... Whoa, that was extremely fast, how quickly they attacked us there. But in Hades 1, there is fishing, and basically you just convert the fish into
Stand down.
into other resources.
Droplets.
But the fish themselves do not really have value. It is only once they are converted that they do something for you. So I wasn't sure if it was going to be the same thing in Hades 2 or not. There's another one of these on the other side, I'm pretty sure. Oh no, it's a different type of guy. Okay. Do you have the humongous AoE, or is it only your armored version? I mean, I imagine it's still a big AoE, which is probably not quite as big.
Here.
Oh, for a second it looked like the anchor that this guy was wielding was glowing or sparkling as well. I was like, can we pick that up? Okay, I went for the ashes because it gives us a little bit of extra max HP, which I do like.
Next vessel.
Even 8. It's not a dramatic amount, but get a couple of those and it does start to add up. Oh. Okay, don't like you. Also don't like that I am even capable of throwing that cast off the screen. That's a compellable shade. Okay. Please cooperate. And by cooperate, I mean get hit by this attack. Let me do this. Are we allowed to compel you, or do we need to do all the versions of this room first? We do. Okay. I feel like we're going to do pretty okay from a coin standpoint, since we did throw on the gold purse. And this is, I believe, going to get upgraded on this floor, which might give us at least a little bit of extra, should give us at least a little bit of extra gold. Do we have stuff we really want to upgrade, though? I mean, if we had the attack boon, that would be priority number 1. Because the support stuff from Demeter, it's not the damage that we need, it's the freezing and slowing, and we already have that. That's not going to get improved by other levels, so tell you what, might actually go for the gold. Difference might be that it'll help us get more aggressive on shops and mini shops, which which might be the difference between being able to afford that key boon and needing to pass it up. Okay, but 2 of them, at that point, that's probably overkill. Do like the max health, as I was saying, so yeah, I think we can afford it. We can afford to go the health route at this point.
Freeze.
Backstab on the armored dude to help take him out more quickly, except he's not down just yet. Unfortunately, I really was hoping that the freeze was going to freeze you a little bit more, and really frustrated with myself for the little bits and pieces of damage we're taking from just not quite moving out of range of the enemy's attacks quickly enough.
Calm that shade down, Phrenos.
Somewhat sloppy positioning.
Well done,
And again, some of that just comes with having the closest range weapon, but still. Okay, this is a very small boat. We do not have a lot of room to work with here. And as you can see, some of these guys do have that ginormous AoE. Okay. So, I was kind of saying that Selene does not make a lot of sense earlier. Yes, we do have one source of magic restoration from, what was it, you? I still don't think that's reason enough, though. So I think well, it's just not, I don't think it's going to be a huge point of emphasis here. Maybe that's in part because we had that very cast-centric run last time, and I'm looking to mix it up a little bit, but I don't know. Maybe it's that I want to have more health when we know we're going to be taking damage with the blades. There's the purse ranking up. Okay, so that should have given us a little more gold. I think we're going to take the ashes again. So as I was saying, if it's, what, 8 additional max health? Again, one of those, sure, not a huge deal. Get a couple of those, 16. It's not quite an entire health upgrade, entire heart, but it's almost that much.
You get away from her.
Oh!
Icarus.
Icarus! Okay, I will admit, his voice sounded very similar to that of Hermes, so at first I thought it was Hermes. But we will take assistance from, what? Icarus. He knocked, the reason why I was taken aback was because Icarus knocked me back. He had the area of effect circle, and I assumed I was still going to be able to walk in there and deal damage, but I was not. Okay, so there's a little bit of extra max health, but we've only seen him once before, right? And I was hoping we'd be able to gift him a nectar, although we might have used our last nectar on our previous run, so okay.
The other night, I saw these huge black wings on the horizon. Definitely not a harpy. Could have sworn it was bloody Eris. But wasn't she still at the crossroads with you?
No, it probably was Eris, I'm afraid.
Well, I'm not at the crossroads either, but unfortunately, Strife Incarnate has been getting in my way. So she showed up around the time I did.
Come to think of it, yes. Oh, I was beginning to worry she was here because of something I did. Never occurred to me she was just following you around, same as ever.
Thanks. Not exactly what we want to hear, though. Okay, so what is your deal? You give us other types of boons. Don't remember what types of stuff you like to give, though. Gain 40 armor the next time you lose all of your armor. Deal 2,000 damage to surrounding foes. I mean, if you can time that so that it hits a boss, that's incredible. Otherwise, it's probably humongous overkill damage, and you might not even have stuff next to you. I mean, we're using the blades. We're gonna have stuff next to us, and we're gonna blow through that armor pretty quickly. So, I don't know. If this were happening near the end of the floor, and we could predictably have this proc on Eris, wonderful. But I'm not sure that's gonna be the case. Specials gain power, but we prime even more magic. Cast also blast the area after 4 seconds. What? Dealing 500 damage to foes, but 20 to us? Oh, man. You had me at the cast damage part. You had me in the first half. But, I mean, even if... I feel like we saw this last time. We had Icarus and we were wondering, is that damage only going to hurt us if we are standing in our own cast AoE? In which case we can run away from it and we'd be safe? Even if that is the case, though, that doesn't work well with what we're doing because we are deliberately using the cast to slow down foes, make it easier for us to get into melee range. So we want to be, if not in the cast, right next to it, and then walk into it soon thereafter. So it just doesn't work well with what we're doing. Maybe we do take the destructive coating in that case. I mean, if we were building more around the specials, which again, we passed up on a whole bunch of special stuff. If we had gone all in on the specials from the get-go, could have been fantastic. But I guess we'll go this route.
Yes.
It does mean we'd like to try... Oh,
Careful out there.
if only we had these floors and these rooms in opposite order so we could have gifted the nectar to him. But we'd like to try to avoid taking damage and losing that armor in the relatively near future. Oh, is this a...
Welcome, solitude.
This is a spring, a healing
Some
place.
driftwood.
And a mini shop. Okay, well this is great. Still would have preferred to have seen this before we ran into Icarus so that we could have gifted it to him, but... Let's go here and heal. Is there any reason why we would want to go to the shop first? I suppose we can check.
Not happening.
We have to use the fountain first? Okay. Just seeing if there's anything that cost us blood that we could then heal off. Ooh. Ooh, this is very interesting. Because of what we just picked up from Icarus. If we can survive, if we can save our armor for 3 more encounters, we get a little bit more. It just helps us hopefully get, if not to Eris, at least to a mini-boss like Charybdis, and have the armor break there and get a big chunk of damage from that, so that the timing is better. I think we definitely want this. And this is why we took that extra gold earlier.
Coming soon.
Oh, we tell you what. We buy this. I'm strongly considering having this arrive right now. I think we do. 20 gold is not a crazy price to pay.
Express shipping,
And
please.
since we took that extra gold earlier, you can kind of see that as a way for us to pay for that. We still have over 500. Still need to be careful. We have a little more wiggle room now. I saw that. Oh, it's the humongous AoE guy. It's just, I hate when there are so many of those guys, and especially when they're sniping us from the entire length of the room. Like in some cases, they are off-screening us, which just doesn't feel like the fairest of things. Okay, so your AoE is ginormous. We don't have a ton of AoE. So we could do this. The special that we'd heard about many times before, but passed up on the opportunity to upgrade. Problem is, I don't really know if we... How big is your AoE behind you? It's a little bit smaller than the AoE in front of you.
Next bearing.
Oh, also, while we're at it. Is this... Are those mandrake seeds? I hope so. So we need, I think, a few rounds of those. I do like the Hermes. Oh, okay. We get rid of the little guys first, or we get rid of you first? Does that have enough range? Not sure that it did. You're down. Like a new cast, please. Thank you. Wait for it. Then hit you. Oh, our range is even more limited than I thought.
Out.
Okay, now it's just the big dude. He can hit over this gap. His AoE is big enough. No, don't stand there. Don't get stuck there. Just trying to play very cautiously right now, because, as we were saying, we have that bonus, the big damage when we lose the armor. I just assumed that was going to be the last wave. It was the first one, though, so I guess it's understandable that it's not the last. Ooh, you are quite quick. You have range and... oh my god. I wanted to dash out of that. You got in the way like that. That's kind of frustrating, especially because we actually didn't need to move in the first place. It's okay, we still have 45 armor. Okay.
Hear me on my authority.
Let's see. Sprint is 15% faster. It gives you a barrier that ignores 1 instance of damage per encounter. That is nice defensively. Find gold in 20% greater quantities. Receive 100 gold now, plus the bonus. Earlier you get it, the better. It's, what, now halfway-ish through the run? Is that still early enough? I mean, we already have a decent chunk of gold, so it's maybe not all that necessary at this point. This is pretty tempting. I'm going to take the nitro boost. Defense is important. Not only because we're trying to preserve our armor, but because in general, we expect to take a lot of damage. I thought that counted as a backstab. Oh, apparently it did not. I did not think you could lunge that far.
Bishop's helm.
Oh! That was the Hermes boon that is hiding right next to the room option that I don't want. It's accept, not navigate, right? Okay. As long as it says accept.
Hello, cousin.
Oh, it's Apollo. Okay, we did not see him yet.
If only we could whisk you over with more godlike means, but the skies are as treacherous as the waters, as I suspect you've noticed.
At least we haven't seen him on this run. Are there ways he can help us? We don't want to use his attack, though. Casts expand in size until they expire. I mean, it's more cast support. That is helpful. How big is the cast now? That's pretty huge. Okay.
Need to get closer.
Still would like to get the attack boon so we can upgrade the attack boon from these palms. Don't really benefit all that much from palms on other stuff. A little bit of incremental damage, of course, but
Cold, take you.
just doesn't have as much base damage to work with. Mathematically speaking, is not as efficient. But we'll see what our options are here. More damage on the cast, also more damage on the cast. These numbers look similar to what we saw before. Both cast aim where it appears. Foes within are struck by lightning. Is that only once, or is there any repeated nature to that? It doesn't say every second or every 0.5 seconds, so that might be a one-time thing. In which case, this is what? 2 times 4? So that's 8 damage per second. This is 3 times 2, 6 damage per second. So yeah, I think that might be the same damage numbers we were seeing before. Between those two options, no diminishing returns. Okay. I don't think this is the penultimate room. I think it's too early for that. I think it's just a normal shop, but I could be wrong. Let's check.
Lord Charon,
It is the penultimate room. Oh. Okay. Okay, so here's the subtle reason why getting that Apollo boon was not great. Although, yes, it's another boon. And yes, in some ways, it does help increase the radius on a skill that we care about the radius on. It means there's one more god who has boon precedent, which means it's one more god we can get other than Aphrodite. So technically, it reduced our chances of seeing additional Aphrodite stuff, and we really want to see an Aphrodite attack boon, because we're holding out for that, and you have seen all the things that we have compromised on in the interest of making that happen, but it has not yet paid off for us.
As the black flagship sails closer to the shore, the Princess of the Dead knows well that whatsoever strife she has experienced thus far this night is about to get worse.
I was about to say strife being the key word there, and notice how it is capitalized. That's not strife the noun, or not strife the normal noun, that is strife the proper noun, because that is functionally Eris's name.
Oh, I waited eagerly.
As strife incarnate. We don't have... No, we can't re-roll the type of god or goddess boon. That is possible if you have the right Arcana cards, but apparently we did not select that this time around. I'll be honest, might have wanted the palm before we do this. Ooh. Okay, I mean, I saw... No, I don't think we want this. It's heroic rarity, which is obviously extremely high. But restoring magic is not what we care about from that boon. What we do care about is that it makes any nearby foe weak, and we lose that part if we get rid of it, so I don't think we want that. Do we have a sprint? I thought we did. Or we passed up on so many. We don't want the attack boon. Or at least... It would obviously be very nice against Eris, but we're still trying to get the Aphrodite attack. So I think that means we are taking the sprint, and it is another defensive skill. And defense from the sprint in general is nice. So we have a lot of defense, we have a lot of cast support, but... And we have the hammer boon, which is helping our attack. We just need a normal attack boon from Aphrodite is still the missing piece, but we have basically everything else we could ask for at this point. Or very nearly everything else. I don't remember if the bones give us any other bonus resource, and if so, what it is. It's not max health, which probably would be the most helpful. Could it be armor? Oh, we have 10 armor? Oh. I mean, that's kind of ideal. It's the right time to have 10 armor. Honestly, that makes me very tempted to just run up to Eris and deliberately take damage from her, rather than try to avoid taking damage at the beginning and risk having it be one of her adds that hits us when Eris is not right in front of us, and then we miss out on dealing a huge chunk of damage to her. I mean, if you want to really min-max it, you would ideally not take damage for the first several phases at all, and then near/in the last phase, you have Eris hit you when she's right next to you, you deal a huge chunk of damage to her, and you functionally skip one of the last phases when she's most dangerous, since there's a huge difference between early fight Eris and late fight Eris, but not sure we can afford that luxury. I'm gonna try this. It did not appear to give us any other bonus stuffs, so in truth, might have been better off just not doing that at all. And to be honest, the palm isn't that great, because the best way to use it would be to improve our attack damage, but we can't do that. Honestly though, improving our sprint speed, even if it's just 4%, that might be better than what is not a very big cast damage upgrade. Also not a very... I mean, it's upfront versus damage over time. What is the duration of the cast? What does that actually add up to? Does it tell us how long the cast lasts for? The freeze lasts for 2 seconds. But I don't know the cast itself. I think we take this. Especially in the Eris fight, I think that little bit of extra speed, you never know, that could be a difference maker. Okay, so let's head in. I think I am going to deliberately just lose our armor almost immediately, which more or less is going to skip the first phase.
Another go? Can't always tell if you're stubborn or just plain, you know. Not that it matters.
Excuse me? The other thing I don't know is, what is it? It's 2,000 damage, I think, which might be more than enough to go through one of her phases. Does she automatically stop at a checkpoint when she hits exactly whatever it is, 75 or 66.6, repeating of course, % health? Or can you go beyond that? Like, if this damage from our Icarus boon was big enough, could we actually one-shot her?
You're standing between
Maybe.
me and my objective, Eris. Or floating. The point is, sooner or later, you'll come to understand that's a mistake.
Okay.
Ah, but we all make mistakes, right? Neither one of us would be here otherwise. So you ready now or what? Let's have some fun.
Okay, so I'm just gonna run right up to you. I mean, technically, I should try to backstab you. Can we get backstab damage on our, no, I don't think we get bonus backstab damage on the Icarus. I doubt it. What is she doing? Okay, I have attacked her more than I anticipated I would be attacking her for this phase. Which is a risk, because if we do take that next bit of damage from anything other than her... Okay, now I'm going to deliberately get hit by her. I think. I would rather not get hit by all those things, though. Okay, really? This might be a good time to do it. That move. There. Oh, it does stop at exactly the threshold. It seems. Yeah. Okay, that stinks. So we didn't get a lot of value out of that. Okay. I mean, we learned. Oh, okay. When you're in the corner like that, already facing the direction where you're going to attack us, there's not a lot we can do to dodge that. Okay, that I do take some issue with as well. I mean, I didn't actively press the dash button, I was holding it, but we have all the extra speed, and that's not enough to avoid getting hit there. Okay. Really, just trying to hit you guys. Like that. Okay, she is back. I missed. That is one downside of having the cast have a little more positional flexibility, is that it is also much harder to aim it at times. Oh my god. I'd rather not. I don't know where you went. Oh, no, you're over there. And you're not even up here anymore. So you brought the ads. Oh, this is not a good combo. I don't like this. Oh my god, I hate that move. And also I got hit by these guys afterward. So, silly damage after silly damage. Almost got hit by that as well. I almost ran into the fire on several occasions. Please cover to you. It is nice to be able to throw that and at least get half decent damage while she's doing other things. Even if, as I've said many times, it's not quite the quantity of damage that we would be ideally looking for. That stinks. Okay, I mean, it was going to happen at some point, but the way in which it happened is not thrilled about it. Okay, I'm getting legitimately very frustrated to the point where I'm no longer enjoying this run very much. Okay, extra phase, extra damage boost. Okay, so like, I hate when she's in a corner like that. And she starts one of her attacks. Now that time she just ran away, which was fortunate. But oftentimes, like this attack, for example, like, what direction are you supposed to dodge if you can't go in the one direction where she is not attacking? There she go. That's not her. That is. Sometimes it just seems like range is the answer. Okay, please let me move. Like that attack, for example. Sometimes it might just be easier to just go further away rather than try to sidestep it. This one, I don't believe you can I don't believe you can outrange, though. Okay, don't be there. That was kind of close. It's very hard to backstab her as well. She is very mobile. That time we were able to outrun that move. I guess it technically, from a geometry standpoint, the closer we are to her, the easier it is to cover that distance. We're like taking a very large circumference with the circle we're running around her, then we're actually running a further distance. Okay, don't stand there. Go there. But she's low. Oh! Snuck that one in on me. Uh-oh. I'd rather not. I missed. No, don't stand there. Ooh, okay. Fortunately, we're just barely out of range of that attack, but man, I think I've said it before, but I do not particularly like that boss encounter. And it is not any easier with the blades. So we use, what, 1 Death Defiance, nearly a second. You can get some healing here, in between floors. But we are, I imagine, still going to be pretty low, at least initially.
Try another one, maybe.
So we have benefited from the gold purse. We've no reason to hold on to that anymore. I imagine we're going to want to go to the Lucky Ear Tooth now, especially since we've blown through a Death Defiance. This is usually our go-to anyway. So I'm not sure if we're going to make it to Prometheus this time round. We still don't have what is, by most accounts, the most important piece of our build. So a lot would depend on whether we can get an attack boon of some variety. I don't know what type of stuff that was that we just unearthed, but if that's the Mandrake stuff, then at least we have some of that. And then some of those flowers as well. Oh, I remember there were people who spawned here. That is not where I want to stand. Now we can see a little bit more about just how helpful the big cast can be. Didn't really get a chance to see it all that much on Eris. Don't really want the magic. Demeter, I mean, we have a lot of Demeter stuff already. There might be some potential for a duo boon here. That would probably be best case scenario. Where do we want to drop? Guess right on you? Oh, it does immediately kill them if you do that. I don't know if we've ever done that before, to be honest. Which we probably should have done at this point. Not sure if that actually hit you. Well, it'll expand to hit you eventually. Otherwise, until then, just casually chain some basic attacks. Okay, any of you have armor? Because that fundamentally changes the approach we want to take, except I missed. Okay, remember, there is a cooldown for the freeze effect. We recently froze you. We cannot freeze you again. These guys can be important. I've added to the list of damage we should not have taken. And that too. Wow. Previous one, I just didn't think they had quite that much range because they already have so much. And then the other one, I just thought he was going to get frozen / killed before he could hit us.
You know, Flower, how
Duo?
people seek to be like us. Yet in so doing, they take on our ignoble qualities. Perhaps it's Lord Apollo's fault as the standard to which they aspire.
It looks like it. Demeter plus Apollo. I have no idea what their duo boon is, but again, ideally, this would have been some. I would think, ideally, this would have been something with Aphrodite.
Did I offend somehow, good Lady Demeter? I know the times have been quite cruel, though why don't we direct that cruelty at our enemies, instead of heaping it upon each other here?
I mean, a duo boon from Aphrodite doesn't necessarily mean it is doing exactly what we want the Aphrodite attack boon to do, so may or may not be the actual more synergistic one. We'll have to see what this is. What is the deal? When, or while standing in a gust, which we get from our casts, you randomly fire gales every 0.3 seconds. The gales deal more damage. Okay, you know, that does seem pretty good. We obviously don't have it yet. Or we haven't taken it before, so it has the little scroll. Okay, humor me, what are the other options? Whenever you gather plants, seeds, or mushrooms, gain max health. If we've gotten that earlier, could have been a really good early run choice, especially because we did take the shovel on this run. So it would have added up, but no, far too late for that. We still don't have a special boon, do we? No, we passed on a whole bunch of them very early on, but okay, it has to be the duo boon, of course. So we stand in these. Okay. I mean, it looks cool. Okay, have to go hammer, of course. At this point, we have so much stuff going on with the cast. Oh, those guys are really strong. Armored dragons. Remember, if we stand in that, we get the bonus stuff. The dragon is here, so I'm going. I believe it has ridiculous range, if I remember correctly. You are now armorless, though, so I'm going to start to get more aggressive. You have armor. You don't. The other one, I think, did. Or, well, no, it's not in the initial area of effect. Yeah, we just... Especially because we have not invested in our special, our range is pretty bad. In general, it's bad on this weapon. That's not where I wanted that to go. In general, it's bad on this weapon, and we have not really done anything to remedy that. So that's probably our... Outside of the whole, we don't have an attack boom thing. It's probably our biggest weakness. Okay, that dragon has already been frozen. I think. Oh, well, it was frozen just then. Now it is armorless. Even if we can't freeze by chaining the cast together, combining it with our new duo boon does give us reason to stand in the casts, if nothing else. So we might want something cast related here. Gas Strike also fires your special 3 times at once in a fan pattern. If we had the special stuff going on, could have been great. Attacks are faster. I think we go that route. I'm surprised we haven't taken this one yet.
My blades shine like the moon.
Ooh, mini shop. Okay.
What's for delivery?
This intrigues me. Healing, it is overkill. Oh, except it applies in 3 encounters, which honestly is a good thing. Because at that point, presumably, we would have taken more damage. So what if we go yes and yes? Means we're spending a little over 200 gold, which means we'd have about 250. So if we were to get a full-blown shop... Actually, hold on. Do we know what the next room is going to be? Because if it is a full-blown shop, it is not, and we could get coins there. Well, let's do this before we forget. So we're actually, if we spend aggressively here, we're going to be a little bit low on coins, if we are about to run into 1 or potentially even 2 shops. So I'm tempted to go here, and then we could go the gold route. And then if we do run into shops soon, we don't have to worry too much about that. If we go here, we'll get a little bit of gold, but if we get a shop immediately after, we might get priced out of 1 or 2 things, which would kind of stink. Even if the immediate returns from a Zeus would be better. But Zeus is not going to give us Aphrodite.
Olympian defenses.
Oh, I thought I put a cast in there. Oh, there's more of them. Nope, don't do that. Oh, talk about horrendous damage to take.
Stay where you
Are you armored? how long does that skill go for? Oh, you put the shield up. Right. Are those technically different from the other guys who are also armored and look almost exactly the same? Okay, there's quite literally nowhere I could stand. It feels like, I mean, in general, their skills are very powerful. They take up a lot of space, so they're hard to dodge. And they are punishing when you do get hit by them. That's fair. What feels a little over the top is how long the duration of those skills are. Because it's one thing if, okay, you know, I see the big skill coming, I'm going to dash out of the way, I'm going to reposition to avoid getting hit. However, if then 3 more of those enemies come in and do the same large skill that deals big chunks of damage, it's like, okay, you're not... and it continues to last for a long period of time. It's like, what am I supposed to do at this point? And maybe if we had more range damage, it'd be easier to deal with them, and so maybe it's just a problem with our build. Demeter. Could be an attack boon. I mean, at some point we should get an attack boon of some variety, right? There isn't that much left for Demeter to give us, because we have so much from her already. You can only get 1 duo boon per run. I think that is a hard cap. So it's not as if we could get Demeter plus Aphrodite. I guess we're still doing it. Like, the health is a little tempting. Oh, I immediately dropped down, even though that was not really what we wanted to do. You're manageable. Now, 2 of these guys simultaneously is a little less manageable. Dash. Get you armorless. One of those guys was frozen, the other was not. 1 down. You are armorless, so theoretically we can just do this.
Enough.
Okay.
Olympus likes
Enough indeed. What can we get here? Actual special stuff? Gain a barrier that stops 1 instance of damage per location, but prime magic. We are just not using magic. So I am okay with this. Again, if we'd gotten this earlier, it could have been very good, but I think it's too little too late. Honestly, I'm going to go the defensive route. We get a higher rarity option. We might consider the special. It's a mini-boss, which we still have yet to do on Olympus. I am very reluctant to do that. Yeah, even if the potential reward is way better, I think the cost is too high.
Auto watches.
Oh, we can't even get close enough to hit you. Okay, you are the armor kind, which is really nasty. Fortunately, though, you started with very low health. Very low armor, at least. And that we now have several ways to completely mitigate all damage, or at least, you know, certain hits of damage. So I do like that. Those guys get tankier than I would have expected. I was kind of just expecting drop a cast and that would be enough. That was not the case. And again, 1 or 2 of them, not that bad. A whole room full of them, suddenly, it's not so straightforward to dodge them. Ooh. Turns into a bit more of a bullet hell than I would like. You are the armored kind, which means you officially stink. Okay, don't stand there. You should now be gone, which means I think we just have you. Now that your armor is gone, much easier to deal with. That's not the last wave. Also would expect the eagle to show up at some point, right? This room is nasty. Wow. Just the sheer number of enemies in it. And the amount of area skills / things we need to dodge from all of them. not really where I want that to be. Oh! Okay. I'm a little surprised that you chose now to show up, because it seemed like we stalled that encounter for a very long time. But we'll take it. Oh, this is the healing from Hermes. Okay. Sure, we'll take that. That is well timed. Ooh, if I had remembered that, could that have been reason enough to go the mini-boss? Well, we might have lost the Death Defiance before we got the healing. Also nab that real quick, and then we'll talk. Have we gifted to you yet? I'm not sure if we have. Maybe we did so last time, but it's probably worth giving it a shot. I don't remember if we have.
Lady Athena, while we have a moment, I wish to offer you this nectar as a token of my gratitude. If I'd only known that we would meet here, perhaps I'd have arrived even sooner.
Because I think we gave a nectar to someone for the first time in our previous run, but I think it was Cersei, not Athena?
Nonsense. For I'm certain that you made your journey here as quickly as you could. Well, I of course accept your offering, though shall be saving it for when our victory is achieved. This, however, you may be able to use sooner.
Okay, does seem like this was our first time gifting to her in that case.
You honor me with such a gift, goddess.
Gorgon Amulet. I am curious what that's going to be all about, but we've yet to actually speak with her.
Even if you're thwarted by the Titan Prometheus, it is a benefit to our war effort. For if he's having to confront you, then he is unable to cause his mayhem elsewhere.
I suppose so.
That is of little consolation to me, Lady Athena. This is not his first crime against Olympus and our family. Thus, his punishment is to be even more severe.
Yeah, like that time when he gave fire to humanity? What a jerk. How dare he, right?
Do not concern yourself with that. His prior punishment inspired this still greater transgression, rather than remorse for his past deeds. For the moment, our strategy merely requires that he not stand in our way.
My point is, although the gods and goddesses were not a fan of him having done that, I don't know. It did seem like a pretty harsh punishment. Not sure that we can blame him all that much for that transgression. Okay, so what do we get from you? Your casts also deal a burst of damage and make you briefly deflect. Our casts have so many buffs on them right now, I'm kind of tempted to just continue to make our cast incredible. Dash deals damage to surrounding foes where you end up and can deflect. Deflecting dash, this is like arguably the best boon from Hades 1, so I'm very tempted to do it. Specials also launch a projectile ahead that can deflect and rearm after 2 seconds. I mean, all these things sound good, of course. This, because our cast is the thing that we've done the most with thus far, but I think in a vacuum, this is probably still the best. We probably do still take it.
Brother's favorite. To your continued success.
She says your brother's favorite, which is probably a very accurate statement about Hades 1. It might be the most commonly chosen boon from Hades 1. Okay, now this does stink a bit, because we don't really have much of any reason to be spending a lot of magic. So gaining more magic doesn't help us much, and then sure, this gives us a reason to start using magic, but it's a little late to be building around this. So, I mean, maybe this is still the best option? I guess? A bunch of enemies that are near death. We've seen that on many occasions. Now we have the deflections and all the ways in which we can ignore damage, so defensively, great. So great that we can just walk right over and use our shovel in the middle of the encounter and not have to worry too much about it. But our offense is carried still by the hammer to a certain extent. And, ooh, okay. Well, yeah, the hammer, pretty much. All the cast stuff, I mean, most of it is sort of peripheral. Not the kind of thing that you would expect to do that much damage, but, oh, the duo boon, that's what I was thinking of. Yeah, that too. That does deserve some credit, for sure. Even if we haven't had it for that long, it does seem as though that can help us a lot. But in general, it does still feel like the offense is the thing that's missing.
We reunite.
Really can't ask for much more defensively.
I bid you shine for me again tonight.
Black-winged Eris has become an obstacle. She sometimes flies across my path, thus startling my steeds. I am the Eye of Night, yet cannot see much worth in her at all.
Oh, ouch. Okay, your Hex raises the last susceptible foe slain in this encounter to fight with you for 12 seconds. I don't think that's a good idea when we very much need to be thinking Prometheus at this point, because we're getting pretty close to that encounter. Hex turns you impervious into an impervious living nightmare for 5 seconds. Could be useful against Prometheus. Hex restores 15 health up to 3 times, which resets when you use fountains. Way too late for that. I think we're going this route, but honestly, it might be the passive stuff. Oh wait, no, we can't even activate passive, like subsequent levels. Until we see subsequent Selene stuffs. So yeah, no, that's not going to help us much. Okay, now this is a real test. So we saw, this is Dionysus, which, we just used our last nectar. I don't think we have any more, so we can't gift any to him. I don't think we have any more. But could this finally be the Aphrodite attack boon that we've been waiting for? It would require that we face a mini-boss that we've never seen before to do it. Oh. If this were a bad room, then I would say, okay, it's worth taking our chances on that. But the fact that this could give us something amazing, I think we still go this route. And we just cross our fingers that we will somehow still find a way to get Aphrodite. Or at least at this point, I think we might need to take whatever attack boon we can get. I think we are very close to running out of time.
Hey, look who decided to reconsider coming to our little gathering. Welcome back, Mel baby. Now go on, you grab yourself a cup and mingle with the crowd.
Alright, Dionysus.
As tempting as that sounds, Lord Dionysus, unfortunately I don't think I can. There are various perils beyond, and your fellow Olympians can only do so much to hold them off.
And I feel bad for them, really. Almighty gods with limitless power having to fend for themselves. Good thing I can drown my sorrows here, and guess what? So can you.
Alright, let's see. In each encounter, grape juice appears in the area and grants power when used? What? So, gives your very next move plus 100 power, then later reappears in a random spot. So it does give us some damage, but feels a little gimmicky. I'm a little reluctant to do that, to be relying on doing that, especially in a boss encounter where we're not going to have the luxury of picking and choosing exactly where we want to stand. Most of the time, we're just going wherever we can go without taking damage. Every 8 seconds in each encounter, Festive Fog appears, making you stronger while in it. Okay, well, it might be kind of a common theme here. Festive Fog gives us 30% bonus damage rather than a one-time 100 base damage bonus. This lasts for 5 seconds. Gain max life. How much you have becomes a mystery. Okay, we definitely saw this previously, and it said 100. Now it says 80. So I think that random number is already rolled when we see it here. Obviously, this is defensive. These other things are offensive. I kind of want to know if that is actually 80 or if it's going to be a random number.
Cheers.
Oh. That's not how I expected that to work. Okay, that's a little alarming. We have no idea how much health we have. Okay then. Well, maybe it is a good thing that we at least learned how that works now.
What mirth remains upon the war-torn mountain of the gods apparently is concentrated here, where Dionysus, god of wine, plays host to his most favored retinue of revelers.
Retinue of revelers is a fantastic line.
At least those satyrs aren't trying to slaughter me.
That is true. I do hate the satyrs from Hades 1. And some of the enemies here on this floor are also satyrs. Psyche. Ashes. Ashes give us max health. Well, we can add to the mysterious amount of health that we have right now. Will it be question mark, question mark, question mark plus 8? Because I think that's how much this gives. Might be more than that on Olympus.
More raiders.
They are kind of fighting each other. Usually it seems like that only happens at the very beginning of the encounter, but it seemed like those guys were actively running toward each other. Even a fair bit into the encounter. We still have yet to see the eagle show up, so I'm really expecting that to happen soon. I'm surprised it hasn't happened yet. Oh, that's a armored dragon who did hit us. This room layout is also a little tricky with... Ooh, can he hit us from there? The dragon? Nearly did. The room layout is a little tricky with all these various obstacles in the way. It's a little hard to gauge where exactly we have to go to step around them. Please go away, dragon, so we can get rid of the other enemy. Might still be another wave after this. Please don't do that. Okay.
Ash of the Dead.
Plus 8. Selene, Palm. Neither one is great. The Selene does give us the potential, or it will give us some of those passive things, which honestly might be more valuable than the Selene boon itself. But the upside is still relatively low. The Palm, do we have anything that we'd like to upgrade? Additional movement speed, a little bit of that. Don't even know if we can upgrade some of the boons that we've gotten from some of the more out-of-the-ordinary gods and goddesses like Dionysus and Athena. Don't know if we can upgrade the Duo boon. If so, that might be our top choice. A little late for that. I assume that this must be the sprint speed that would get better, right? Maybe we do go for the Palm. Maybe we have enough boons that could benefit from upgrades, but this is still worthwhile. As said, I don't think either one is all that good. Hit and run. Eagle wed. I mean, the eagle definitely shows up at least once per run, right? That's more or less a sure thing, isn't it? Or is there actually a chance that it just doesn't show up at one point? Or just doesn't show up over the course of a run? Okay, I just walked straight into that and decided that I didn't care that it was still doing an attack. I think in part because I'd frozen it. So I convinced myself that it wasn't... there it is. Okay.
Itos.
That's its name, apparently. I was gonna say that we can't damage the eagle, and it was the only enemy in the arena. So I was a little confused for a second there. What we were supposed to do. That guy deals ginormous damage. I remember that. That guy's also about to do a very annoying skill. Does that have big enough AoE to get us? Is the eagle really gone now? Okay, seems like it is. Made a fairly brief appearance. Fortunately for us. Okay, don't like that. Increases the maximum size of the cast. That's not terrible. Primes less magic, don't care. So it's gonna be that. It's a little bit better support, but still not amazing. Okay, how much gold do we have? 651. This is a mini shop. We don't have a lot of time to get this stuff. Okay. There is a shop in the next room. Potentially. I think we probably do want to take that. I don't know if it's going to be the penultimate room. It could be, in which case that'd be an empty room with a heart. And that dictates how aggressive we want to be here. Well, I don't think we want this. Doesn't really help us. suppose we'll take this. Not that it's a huge difference maker, but helps a little bit. So if that is the penultimate room, then that means that we aren't going to get these in time for the final encounter, which makes me think that this shouldn't be the penultimate room. Surely they would not give us a mini shop and make it impossible to get the stuff in time, or at least force you to get the instant delivery. I think I'm still gonna do, well, if we do this, and it's not the penultimate room, that means there will be another shop, which means with 500 plus gold, is that enough to benefit from 2 shops? It probably still is. Don't think we'd be priced out at too much.
Did Hermes leave me this?
And is this the final room? It is the final room. Okay, so yeah, in that case, I think this was definitely the right move, because yeah, we can get a heart plus Aphrodite. Could it be? Could it be? We gotta, well, we want to do this before we do the palm, but we'll do this first. I mean, actually, there's a chance there's some of these that can give you additional bonuses from the max health. It's the attack boon we've been waiting for all along. Yes, we could get this infusion. I don't even know how many of the air boons we have. We have 6. That's actually not an insignificant amount of dodge chance. That's 18% dodge chance. You layer that on top of all the other defensive stuff we have, we would actually be incredible defensively. But we've been waiting so long for this, and it is so important to our build. We finally got it. We finally got it, and now maybe we'll get a random upgrade on it here. Did we actually? We actually did. Okay, that's why we did it in that order. That's why it does matter on occasion. Okay, so maybe we now have the offense that we've long been waiting for. We have 2 Death Defiances. We have who knows how much health. We have several ways in which we can mitigate the damage that we take. So, I don't know where we stand at this point. I am curious to see how we fare with this encounter. It might be amazing, it might be horrible. We're about to find out.
My premonition. You gods coerced all mortal kind into worshipping you, and for what? You've nothing to gain by slaughtering them at your whim. Leave them be.
Okay, now this is actually interesting. Because we were wondering, okay, what is the deal with Prometheus? What is his backstory? And then I did a little bit of reading up on it, and then in our previous run, I think they gave a little bit more of his history. Basically, he created, or at least played a strong role in the creation of humans, and then also gave them fire / technology / the seeds of civilization, metaphorical seeds. So he has had a really big role to play in the creation and development of humanity. The gods didn't like that. They punished him. They tortured him for functionally all of eternity, or nearly all of eternity, until I guess eventually they let him go. And so that sort of explains why he's mad at the gods. But why has he chosen to side with Kronos? Is it just because Kronos happens to be fighting the gods right now, so it's a convenient ally for him? Or is it from a more personal standpoint for him that he doesn't like the way that gods have treated humans? He feels a connection to humans because he played such an important role in the creation and development of humans. He feels slighted, so he feels as though he is defending humans by attacking us. I hope that's the case, because that gives more depth to the encounter. Otherwise, it just felt a little too much like, oh, hey, here's a random Titan. He's siding with Kronos because he's also a Titan. And that's it. Just wouldn't have been a lot of depth in that case.
I'll be sure to put in the request with my Lord Uncle Zeus. If you could go ahead and let me past so I can pay him a visit.
Hey, wanna let us through?
Your Lord Uncle had me bound to a mountain for eons, so that Itos here could feast upon my flesh for all that time. Itos came round eventually, but Zeus, he never shall.
Okay, that was the other question I had, is why is the bird that was used to torture him suddenly his familiar? Apparently, eventually, Aiatos, the eagle, realized that, hey, this whole eating Prometheus's liver, just what he was doing. I think it was liver. What he was doing for eons. Maybe that's not so great after all. And that eventually led them to be friends because, yeah, why not befriend the being that has been torturing you for all this time? Sure, he wasn't the one that directed that to happen in the first place. That was the gods who arranged that. But still, you would think he would have some pretty hard feelings, and would not be all that keen to befriend Aitos. But here we go. There, we don't want to stand there. We've already used up some of our resistances. Ow. And by some, I mean possibly all. Okay, put that over here. Then you run. We only just barely avoided that. Where'd he go? Oh, it's right here. He is fast, is the other thing. He is, like, insanely fast. Backstab definitely helps. I assume he has multiple phases, is the other thing. And although we have not defeated the first phase to confirm that theory, I suspect that to be the case. And who knows what his next phase is like. Presumably even more difficult. Well, that may not be the case. By some accounts, you could make the case that, ow. That Kronos is... Okay, hold on. Need to focus.
Visions of flame.
Okay. Here. Then not here. Then top. Here. Then here. Then top. But the first time we've actually gotten the memory one correct? I think so. Uh-oh. Oh, yeah, that didn't look like a good place to stand. Yeah, this is where he starts to just create a bunch of ground effects that you don't want to be near in the arena, and it gets hard to avoid them. It's kind of the moral of the story in Olympus in general. So I wanted to backstab you, preferably. Well, that vacuum cleaners us in. Remember that. You know when that's going to actually freeze in place because the second circle increases in size? Don't walk into that. That one immediately deals damage. Those do chase us. We actually deflected them. We also do get bonus damage if we stand in our cast, but we don't really have the luxury of doing that all that much. Even if that is a very powerful duo boon that we liked to see earlier. Oh, he now has Aitos helping him. Have we seen that before? That might be new. This might be the first time we've seen him actually summon ads. I can't recall. Oh, we can actually sneak past there. I'd like to get rid of your ads. Ideally, that was not good. That was also not good. I'm stuck. I would like to not be in this spot anymore. I would rather this not... Oh, it's another vacuum cleaner. It's a magnet effect. I think that's also the same type of skill. Okay, don't want to be there. Oh, we're back to this? Okay, hold on. Okay, top. Not top. Then middle. Top. What? Oh, there's too many! Not top. Middle. I have no idea. I don't remember anymore. I did not expect there to be that many of them.
Not finished.
I think otherwise.
So I guess that shouldn't come as a surprise that there are more rounds of that damaging move as the fight goes on. Doesn't mean that I like it, but I understand it. That's an area of effect that we don't want to be near. Oh, okay. Try to have this happen over here. Then you run. Then you do this. Oh, don't stand in that. But we also have no idea how much health we have. Right. The fact that we've used multiple Death Defiances, though, is a pretty good indication that we don't have a lot. I did not want to be there. He is so quick. We are quick. And he's still outrunning us. Or nearly outrunning us. Which is pretty telling. Charging up something big. That didn't quite hit you. Trying to set those up in the corner where they're theoretically less of an issue, when possible. Also, trying... That's the magnet. Trying to backstab him, but that is so much easier said than done. Oh, okay. Area of effect. Oh, that's not even the one that I thought that was. Okay, hold on. Set this up here, then run. No! No! Last chance, okay. Honestly, I thought we had one less Death Defiance than that, so I'll take it. No, I walked straight into that! Is that the magnet? Okay, hold on. Try to set this up far away in the corner. Ooh, that was close. I almost walked into it. Want to step into our cast, please? Yeah, just hang out in the cast. That's great. Hang out in the cast. Nope. I took a little bit of damage there, but thought it was gonna help me avoid other damage from him. Surely he has a second phase, right?
I knew this would happen, yet I could not prevent it, do you see? I could only do my part.
This is our first time at least depleting his initial life bar, but I assume there's about to be a part 2.
Silence. Save your troubles for your master Kronos.
It's not my troubles that I mean to save. Agent of Change.
Agent of Change? Huh?
You God.
Wait.
I hate
He doesn't have another phase?
Survived all that.
Oh, snap. Now we know how much health we had. Okay, we had 50 health left, which probably meant we could have taken one, maybe 2 more hits, but that is our first successful run going up. And I also recently realized I'm pretty sure there are fewer floors going up than there are going down, which is a little strange. I mean, the individual floors might be longer when you go up, so maybe it equates to just about the same number of rooms, but it's a little strange in that regard. So I was half expecting for it to be that that Prometheus actually is not the final boss going up, and that maybe they're eventually going to add another floor. Maybe, you know, this was the mountain, but there's still Olympus itself. I don't know. But the fact that a Titan is the boss of this floor, I mean, it would be hard for them to one-up that, right? So I'm curious where we go from here, but this was our first successful run going all the way up, and that is awesome. I mean, we had, as we were saying, tons and tons of defensive stuff, like absolutely crazy defensive stuff. It was a little hard to appreciate it, in large part just because we had such a glaring gap in our setup. We were relying so much on getting a nice attack boon, and eventually, I mean, at the very end, we got the one we were looking for, but we got a high rarity version of it. We were even able to upgrade it, and then combine that with the duo boon, the hammer that gave us the huge extra backstab as well, helped us forget that we also did not upgrade the aspect of Malinui, which we had intended to do, or at least we intended to take a different aspect altogether. So maybe next time we'll double check that before we actually start the run. But it worked. And we can nab this. Actually, oh, we're gonna need to nab this first.
A feather.
Observe nearby.
We can compel you as well. Were you there the entire time? Because I did not notice you.
Just easy now.
And then what happens now?
Having suppressed the fate-wrought curse confining her within the underworld, the Princess of the Dead is witness to the war that rages in the heavens and the earth. Her aim, to reach the mountain of the gods, and there disrupt the massing forces of their crafty foe. We know for certain she arrives intact, but who can say what happens from that point? Most certainly not I. Not yet.
Okay.
No!
So,
Return to Shadow now.
we'll talk more about that in a second. To be continued. Congratulations, you have thwarted vengeful Prometheus, the Titan of Foresight, and your surface goal is almost in reach. The summit of Olympus, where looms a sinister threat. Okay, that implies that, yeah, we have seen the mountain, but we have not gotten up to the city itself, so there may still be another zone after this. However, there is more to be done before the perilous task of Princess Malinui may truly be completed. We appreciate your patience as we build out all that awaits beyond the frostbitten heights of the Mountain of the Gods. Until then, there should be quite a bit to explore on the surface and below. Thank you for playing Hades 2. That is all to say, and the commentary that we just received from the narrator is basically a way of saying, at some point in time in the future, once the game is further along in development, we will have subsequent, either a whole nother floor, or, some encounter with the gods and goddesses in the city of Olympus, but that is not yet in the game. So, we've made it as far as you can get going up, but that may change going forward. There may still be more content to come in the future.
Just need to keep that up.
But make no mistake, that is absolutely still a full run going up.
Glad to be back here with you. But it's a new night now.
And absolutely our most successful run, at least going up, if not potentially overall. Of course, it's a little hard to compare runs that go down versus runs that go up.
They were all so happy together, weren't they? And oblivious to the Titan's threat.
I'm sure in time we will form a stronger opinion as to whether we think it is more challenging going up or more challenging going down. Obviously, we have much more experience going down at this point, so at least right now it feels like going down is easier. Although the Prometheus fight versus the Kronos fight, I don't know. There's a chance Prometheus isn't as bad, or at least mechanically he's certainly quite a bit different. So, time will tell. We'll see what types of opinions we form.
In my weakest moments, I used to envy Prometheus, even knowing his plight. For he was loved by mortals, having given them the gift of fire from Olympus. I, on the other hand, was hated. It should not have mattered to me, but it did.
I mean, that is understandable coming from Moros's perspective.
Come on, Lord Moros. What mortals think of us is of no consequence. Even if it were, better to be hated than a traitor. Prometheus thinks only of mortals and himself. I'm surprised Kronos would entrust anything to him.
Yeah, so that is interesting, for the same reason I was saying before. It tells us more about Prometheus as a, I would say person, but as a Titan. His personality. He cares only about himself and about mortals, so anyone who does bad things to mortals becomes an enemy of Prometheus. Prometheus sees the gods and goddesses do bad things to the humans. Prometheus is mad at the gods and goddesses and has that much more reason to side with Kronos.
Although I said I didn't wish to speculate, I cannot shake the sense that Kronos values him because so many mortals do. The new golden age he seeks to bring about. An age for mortals, not for gods.
Okay, that also is interesting. Because all the things we were talking about explain why Prometheus would be interested in allying with Kronos, but didn't necessarily explain why Kronos was interested in allying with Prometheus outside of just the fact that Prometheus is a Titan and presumably Kronos would like to have powerful allies like that. But again, for a game like Hades and Hades 2 that has so much emphasis placed on the characters and the story, that's one of the things that it does a really good job to differentiate itself from other games, in that it It's more than just a very simple surface level. We both are strong. We have enemy of my enemy is my friend. You know, cliche stuff like that. It goes further. And, you know, it might be relatively small things. You know, not that this is absolutely game-changing information. It is pretty important, though. But, you know, if that happens in multiple different instances across multiple characters, multiple areas, multiple different situations, then it starts to build up that much stronger of a foundation. It really starts to pay off, even if an individual thing might not seem like a huge deal by itself.
Doubtless all the mortals' problems would be solved.
But that does also start to make us wonder, okay, have the gods and goddesses been doing some really horrible things to the humans as of late? Also, I do see this little chain of little shades following us like little ducklings. Make way for ducklings.
Hail
Okay.
to you, Witch of the Crossroads.
Wait, that sounds like Selene. Is that Selene? We've technically never seen Selene just hanging out. We've only seen her when we pick up boons from her. So I'm intrigued. Let's see if we can get anything here, because we did take the shovel, so we might have more stuff here to work with, although we might need to plant some of it. We could create the dock. Can also get you, but again, I'm protective of that Z sand. Let's harvest some of these.
Mandrake root.
That is mandrake. Oh, that's big. Okay. I think we want to plant more of that in that case. Or olive branches, because we've seen some of that stuff too. So many things, though, it seemed like required mandrake, so I'm going to throw 2 of those in there.
That's a nice touch.
And then there might be some things that require garlic, but I definitely know there were some things that require olives, so I think I'm going to prioritize that, and I think it is rarer. Alright, that takes 8. This takes 24.
Fine work there.
I also like that, you know, olives, obviously, very big in Greece. So it's fitting that that's one of the things that you would be planting. As for garlic, I don't know. They grow a lot of garlic in Greece? They may very well. Okay, so we do now have enough mandrake to get this. Oh, to wake Hypnos? Okay, I do really like that. Although, take a second just to see if there are other mandrake-related things that we'd like to get. Shrine of Hermes to appear in the space between regions. This would be really nice. The mini shops in between floors. We don't have the garlic or fabric to get it right now, though. We should... Oh no, we just chose not to plant garlic, didn't we? Okay. It'll take a little while before we're ready to do it, in that case. Locations in the surface sometimes have infernal troves. I think it's not quite as big of a priority. Let's go wake up Hypnos. Most slumber ends quickly and naturally, but a rare variety requires special care.
Sleep is not death, for the sleeping awake.
By your will.
Did you just wake up immediately, or do we need to go over there to talk to him? I assume we have to go over there to talk to him. Yeah, okay. Still many things for us to do here. We could still afford this. Okay, sure, I guess. Do we have a desperate need for that? We have cattails to spare. The wood, we might want that for some other upgrades. Tell you what, there's a chance there's some aspects that need it. So I'm going to hold on to it, because I might prioritize that over the dock. I think this is Selene. But let's see.
It gladdens me
It
to
is.
see you, Hecate. I have observed the stalemate upon Olympus holds, although the Titan Kronos musters forces in Ephyra still. Shall I continue monitoring them?
So obviously this Selene art is custom to Selene. However, the art we see that you can kind of still see right next to Malinui, that's the placeholder art. So theoretically, that will be replaced with something new and special and unique to Selene once they have more time to make that. I am curious what that's going to look like, because are you going to have just Selene herself? Is she going to be riding her one or more horses? Wait, is that a Pegasus? That might be a Pegasus, because that would be pretty sweet. She's just casually chilling on top of a Pegasus. I want to see what that looks like, because it gets cut off a lot here.
Yes, Selene, do. Blasted if Pyre is the closest exit out of here. Do you suppose they are prepared for a single assailant to weave through their ranks?
This does also seem like a conversation from longer ago, like when we were first going up on the surface. Whereas, obviously now, having just completed our first successful surface run, you would think there would be more significant things for them to discuss.
The Titan's forces are somewhat in disarray. Thus, no, I do not think they are sufficiently prepared for one of us. But I shall watch and make certain of it. For now, I must be off. Together we shine.
Farewell. Together we shine.
Yeah, because the art for Selene that we already have is great. I just wish you could see more of it. As I said, it gets cut off a little bit. So seeing what she looks like in the, whatever you want to call it, in town itself would be pretty cool. But you don't have anything to say to us after that run, Hecate? How dare you? See? Charon does.
It is indeed.
Okay, I'm not sure what it is indeed, but sure.
Moon dust.
Okay, I think there were... That's mostly for upgrading Arcana cards, right? So that is pretty nice. I think we picked up a fair number... Ooh. Not quite enough. Not quite enough Charon cards to get more of that. Okay. We have seen some things that require fabric, and although we were getting this fairly often from Arachne encounters when we were going down, have not found an encounter that gives us Fate fabric going on the surface yet, or if we have, we, for whatever reason, haven't selected it. So, might actually have reason to do this. I mean, that feels like... I think we can purchase it from the shopkeeper. I think we still save for the moon dust then. We really need the fabric. Yeah, we can buy... Okay, we can also buy the moon dust, but it is more expensive. We have a fair bit to work with here. We can also buy nectar, which I'm actually a little bit tempted to get one of them, just because it feels like we've been running into a lot of NPCs, a lot of characters for the first time that we've been wanting to gift to. Who do we still want to gift to that we haven't done so yet? Dionysus being the most obvious example, I think, at least from the previous run. Is that reason enough? We'll be fine. We'll be fine. Okay, so we'll hold off on that stuff.
During a recent voyage, I found Circe the Enchantress on her little isle, evidently safe from all the turmoil at sea. Don't you two know each other fairly well?
Yes, they do, but I don't remember what from.
In life and death, we can but strive to know each other well, goddess. Though I knew Circe just a bit, at least. As casual acquaintances is all. Why do you ask?
I can't remember, because at the very beginning of the Odyssey, Odysseus is trapped, kind of, sort of, on an island with someone who basically tries to seduce him and keep him from returning home to his wife, and does this for numerous years, like a crazy number of years. I forget how, it's like 13 or something. That might be how long it takes his total voyage, but much of it is spent on that island. I don't remember if it's Circe who was the one who did this, and he's kind of being coy about it, trying to dodge how, okay, this was actually a pretty big deal, and I'm embarrassed about it because it's a little bit shameful. Or is that someone else entirely, and the Circe encounter truly is something that was quite brief? I don't remember.
Oh, just in case you wanted me to tell her anything when next we met, as she may be providing some assistance when I navigate the Rift of Thessaly.
No need to tell her anything. Best keep your focus on the task at hand.
Okay, but I am getting the feeling that that's opinion. That's that relationship will develop further, and Odysseus will, in fact, want us to send some sort of message back to Circe, or maybe the other way around. If we next visit Circe and we're like, oh, hey, by the way, we know Odysseus. Do you have anything you'd like to tell him? And maybe she is more interested in conversing with him, and will be the messenger of sorts. In which case, that is quite similar to a couple of NPCs from Hades 1. So, kinda hoping that there are ways in which they spice it up a little bit and make it so that it's not more or less the same thing, just with a different coat of paint. Yeah, obviously, if they're basing these stories on the Greek myths, then there's more substance to it. They can potentially at least make it a little more interesting by adding detail from those myths and not have it be exactly the same thing as we saw in Hades 1. But, only time will tell.
Noted.
Oh.
Nemesis must have a head start.
No Nemesis, unfortunately. When we have a successful run, of course, she disappears because she can't really badmouth us. Okay, well, the big thing is that we apparently can now awaken Hypnos. Does that mean we gift him this thing? Yes. Okay. Similar to death, deep slumber is a state that has proved very resistant to remedy. Well, let's do something about it. Hypnos?
Please work. Lord Hypnos, you have slumbered long enough. I know you're lost in dream, but I shall do my best to lead you back here to reality. Now breathe in deep.
Oh?
Is this... Where am I?
Uh-oh. I'm not sure if we've awakened Hypnos or if we have entered his dream. Oh, this is the House of Hades. And that is the death music from Hades 1. And those are cardboard cutouts of shades. That is cool, though.
Still fast asleep. Even here.
Huh. That Thanatos? It looks like it. That's Hypnos' brother, who we saw a lot of in Hades 1. And then it's Hades. It's a cardboard cutout of Hades behind him. Oh, I love the style of this. Is it absolutely... I mean, Hypnos is a fairly prominent NPC from Hades 1, so we know him from that, and just his tone, his personality, is very much in line with the tone of this art style right here. It's very consistent. So, it just feels so Hypnos-y. Can we salute him?
You're safe here.
Is he, though? I don't know if he is.
He said how? He's trying to communicate.
Wait, what?
Hypnos, I'm Melinoi, daughter of Hades, and I mean to find a way to rouse you from your slumber. Can you hear me?
Awake. I'm awake.
Oh, I might have accidentally cut him off last time around, but he's definitely talking in between his snoring.
How is it that you sleep even in dream? What can I do to bring you back to us? Because we need you. Your own sister tells me that your wisdom and knowledge are second to none.
I walked
Straight into your dream? Also, his sister would be Nemesis. They're both children of Nyx. Then again, Nyx has a lot of children, so it might have been someone else, because Nemesis is not usually one to pass out compliments all that much, so I don't remember her doing that, but maybe she said something along those lines.
I walked straight into what? Lord Hypnos, I don't understand. You have to snap out of this. My time here runs short, and if this doesn't work, I don't know what else to do.
Oh, I think I know. We didn't just walk right into his dream. We walked right into this trap. From whom, I don't know. I mean, Kronos, Prometheus, one of those two you would think. But how exactly this trap takes... Well, are we going to be stuck asleep now for all of eternity as well?
Dream come true. Thanks for stopping by.
Or not?
The dream's collapsing. No, wait, please.
Maybe we're fine?
No, his consciousness, it slipped away from me. How am I... I need to think. Pleasant dreams for now.
Oh, okay. I saw that. It gave us the little 8-hour sign symbol for a second there. So it seems like maybe after one run, he might wake up, perhaps? I will admit, I kind of just expected him to immediately wake up and go straight into conversation. Not to have us warp into another realm of reality. Into the dream world. But, he's definitely still asleep now. Okay, obviously those still need time. I think now we have done everything we can do there. Or unless... Okay, we'll double check if Eris is there. Don't remember if we saw her. Did we go past you? We might have. Okay, 'cause she's not there. And...
Good evening, Mixer.
Doesn't appear to be anything over here. Okay. So yeah, let's go see. We might now be able to upgrade some Arcana, especially because we did pick up a very rare material from that fight.
Just breathe.
With Prometheus. I think it was this one in the bottom corner. You activate 3 random inactive Arcana. Arcana cards whenever you vanquish a Guardian. Requires more ashes than we have, although that is definitely possible for us to take... to acquire more, either from the shop or just from another run. It requires that we only activate 3 or fewer cards. So basically, it means you start with 3, including this one. I assume this counts. And then that means you have less than you would usually have to start off with. But you go out of your way to fight as many Guardians, meaning the mini-bosses, as possible. And over time, that means you can get more cards activated than you would have otherwise had. So it's sort of a long-term investment type thing, where it does pay off if you are able to take on that many Guardians. Obviously, the Guardians are more powerful, and you will probably take more damage from them. They theoretically have higher rarity, or higher chance of good rarity boons from their drops. So there's a little bit to be gained from that. And there might be a few other things based around Guardian encounters. Yeah, like taking no damage the first 2 times you're hit in a Guardian encounter. So, you know, you basically build the entire run around going after as many Guardians as possible. Not really something I am keen on doing in the short term. That feels like that's sort of a inherently high risk, high reward approach that you only want to take once you are familiar with the different mini bosses, because we haven't even fought all of them. We fought very few going up, and you're comfortable fighting them as well. So, well, actually, let's see if there's anything else. I mean, that's the obvious thing. Could afford this, but it does cost some ashes, and maybe we want to save up some ashes so we can at least unlock this. As for whether we would activate it, again, probably not. At least not in the near future. Magic Restoration, okay, sure, but yeah, it's not like those things we're waiting on any materials that we just picked up. Although, what about upgrades? So we now have some moon dust. Are we able to upgrade any of the ones that we like using? I I don't remember how we get that S dust, but adding an additional Death Defiance would be really nice. Don't have enough magic, or M dust, for this right now, but that's possible, either by purchasing at the shop or getting more Charon shipments. I don't remember seeing this before. Just a flat dodge chance. It's pretty low, but if you can stack that with other dodge boons, then it can start to be a bit of a thing. I'm mostly looking for things that we have active and like, that we can further upgrade. Like, for example, this. If you have less than 100% magic, your attack and special deals 10% additional incremental damage. It's maybe not the top thing for us. What about this, though? This I would like to upgrade. It would require more fabric. I feel like we have plenty of bones to use for that, though. And we could do this as well. At that point, we wouldn't have enough to get both of these. You know what? Let's prioritize the not taking damage in Guardian encounters, because that is just so helpful. I do really like that one. Okay. So yeah, that'll be a future effort to get this, and as we were saying before, there's at least one other thing that required fabric. So that is a resource we would like to receive. Okay. Now, what about weapon aspects? Some of those require fabric, including the one that we took but forgot to, or well, we accidentally took and had hoped to upgrade. This one that we did upgrade but forgot to take. Yeah, I thought we had taken this one, and that's why I'd upgraded. After upgrading it, I wanted to take it. But then we ended up taking this accidentally. If we had upgraded it, it could have been fantastic. If you upgrade this multiple times, you can get even more backstab damage out of it. Add that on top of the hammer upgrade that we received, and you're talking 200+% bonus damage from backstabs. It's pretty sweet. As for what the bonus weapon is for the next run, it is the skull, and it's been a while since we've used that, and we haven't used it very much overall, since it is still a relatively new weapon. So it's a little risky, but I do remember liking it, so we may very well choose to go that route next time, and we'll see what aspects, if any, we can activate or upgrade for that run, and probably will stick with the shovel, since we succeeded in collecting some of those resources that we really needed in our previous run. But this run is done, and our most successful run, I mean, it is our most successful run going up, potentially even our most successful run if you consider our downward runs as well. So that was big, especially given how it was a roller coaster ride of having a bunch of boons that seemed great, but we were just waiting to get that one key missing piece, and we got it at the last possible moment, and boy, did it pay off. And then we'll see what comes of all that Hypno stuff as well. So thank you all for watching, and I'll catch you next time.